YouTube, how's it going? It's the Whiplash, and thought I would put up a video today. I'm kind of been sitting around, just kind of enjoying my weekend off here. It's the first one in a little while, and so got to thinking that thought I would put up a video about a gun that I've showed in other videos, but not actually went into much detail about. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about the Smith&Wesson 325 Nightguard. This is a 45 ACP revolver, and it is a scandium frame, scandium alloy frame. Has a 2 and 3/4 inch barrel, roughly. It says 2.75 on their website. This gun has been safety checked and holds 6 rounds in the cylinder. 6 rounds of 45 ACP. So not too many videos about this gun on YouTube, so I thought I would do one. It's more of just a review, kind of show it off a little bit, some close-ups and whatnot. Does have a stainless steel barrel, and that's kind of inserted in there. Gun has night sight on the front, and has a U-shaped notch rear sight that is not just drilled into the top strap, but it's actually attached, and you can change this to get different rear sights for it if you wanted to. These sights are pretty good to me. This is actually the one gun I've actually hit a bullseye with, and so I don't plan on changing them anytime soon. For me to hit a bullseye, that's pretty dang good, because I am not much of a target shooter. And I actually did that at about 25 feet, and so I was pretty happy with that. Just because I don't shoot that much, I don't get to go out and practice as much as I'd like to. So for me, that's a big deal. For you, maybe not so much. That's okay. So anyways, hey, a little more about the gun. It's like I said, it's a scandium alloy frame, so weighs in at about 28 ounces per Smith&Wesson's website. So it's pretty lightweight, even for being a fairly large revolver. And by large, I mean it's definitely not a pocket gun. You can see my hand here; it's a pretty good size, and but it does not have the weight of a basically all steel revolver. So I have read of guys carrying these guns. Probably need a pretty good holster for it, more or less like a custom-made holster. I've never actually seen an actual holster for it, so it would be a little bit of having to find it in a gun shop or ordering it online kind of thing to just find like a generic holster. I'm sure there's some out there you could use, but if I was going to carry this gun, I would have a holster custom-made for it, just to make sure that it was riding properly and fit properly and all that good stuff. So if you're familiar with the 45 ACP revolvers and the round of a 45 ACP, you know that most of them do not have a rim. They're a rimless cartridge. From the standpoint that from the barrel of the chamber here on out is pretty much flat. It just they do have a bit of a rim here, but it doesn't stick out. And a lot of you guys know that. But anybody watching this who doesn't get that, well, this is not like your typical 38 special or 357 or 44 Magnum round, anything like that. These 45 ACP in a revolver requires the use of a moon clip, and these are an aftermarket moon clip that I got. Smith&Wesson does give you 4 of these half moon clips, but shame on Smith&Wesson, because honestly these suck. So I would think that for the price of 10 to 15 cents that these things cost them, that they could do a little bit better maybe research into these. These things have sharp edges, and they are very, very hard to pull the rounds, especially getting the rounds out of it. After you've fired a round, obviously, most of the hot gases and stuff will cause the cartridge, a spent cartridge, to expand a bit, and so when you have an expanded cartridge that was already tough to get in, imagine getting that out. There are companies that make demooning tools. I don't have one, unfortunately, and maybe that's my fault. But I also think that, you know, if you don't have one, you still should be able to use these things without slicing your fingers. And I can tell you that every time I've taken this gun out to the range and used these half moon clips from Smith&Wesson, I have sliced my finger in one way or another. I usually end up with a bloody, you know, finger here or my thumb or something, because these have very sharp edges on them. So I don't use these moon clips anymore. I got these aftermarket kind of star clips. These remind me a lot of the ones from Taurus, and they work a lot better. The rounds pop in and out a lot easier, and I don't have to worry about having the tool for it. And they're definitely not as sharp edged, so they're a little bit easier to deal with. So if you plan on getting a 45 ACP revolver, or any type of revolver that uses a rimless cartridge, I would definitely check around for some good moon clips, because they make all the difference. So the way that works, real quick, if you've not seen it, I'm sure pretty much anybody watching this has, but they just pop in, hold the cartridge in place, allows it to seat into the cylinder. I'm not going to touch the trigger on that, but pretty much you can see where there's a little bit of, holds the cartridge out just a touch right there, and allows the ejector to do its job. Basically grabs the entire clip, moon clip, and pushes it out. So if you were to put a round in here, the cylinder is bored out and has a little bit of a, like a retainer in there, I guess. I'm failing on a word that would describe it the best, but there is a little, like on each cylinder is a little kind of stopping point in there, where if you were to put the cartridge in, it'll stop the round from feeding clear through. And I believe you can shoot this without the moon clips in it. I've not tried it, I guess, but like I said, when you fire that, obviously the cartridge will expand. You're going to have a hard time getting that cartridge out of the gun, and obviously the extractor rod does not catch the rimless cartridge. So good luck getting it to drop out that freely if you fired the round. You may or may not, so just depends. Anyways, that's a revolver, probably one of my most favorite revolvers I have. I don't take it out and shoot it that much because I've been keeping it nice and clean, but I'm planning on taking it out to the range and getting a little use out of it. It's been sitting for a little while, and it's actually a super fun gun to shoot. If you've not had an opportunity to fire a 45 ACP revolver, I recommend that you find a friend or whatever. I wouldn't necessarily just go out and buy one and do it, but if you get the chance, give it a shot, because I think you'll have a lot of fun, especially in the 45 ACP. It's just a fun round to shoot, and I really enjoy it in this gun. The gun is light enough that you could wear it on your belt if you wanted to, so it's not so heavy, but it's not so light that the recoil is unmanageable. It's actually really, in my opinion, no worse than shooting a 1911, and you don't have the moving parts, along with the recoil, so it actually holds up really well. The rounds I'm showing you here are just some I had sitting. These are Federal Hydra Shocks. These are actually 165 grain, and I would imagine these would fire and feel pretty good in this gun. But I typically just fire some Full Metal Jacket 230 grain, and I've not experienced any problems. I don't get fatigued. My hand doesn't hurt. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's the 325 Nightguard. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little, hopefully fairly short. I guess 9.5 minutes isn't that short, but 325 Nightguard, 45 ACP revolvers. A lot of fun. I would definitely recommend you check it out if you want. If you ever had the inkling to try one, I'd definitely do it. You can sometimes find some cheaper Taurus. Their 455 is a 45 ACP. They don't make it anymore, but you can find them around, and they're about half the price of one of these. So I got this one used, so I did pretty well on it and all that. So, all right, guys. Hope you're having a good one. Take it easy, and thanks for watching again, all right? See ya.